Welcome to the Papyrus Global Television International News Update. I am Christiana Babayo and here are today's headlines. Drone strike triggers airport fire in Kuwait. Shell chief warns Europe could face fuel shortages next month. Global markets face ticking time bomb amid Middle East tensions. Escalation in Middle East conflict as Israel and Iran exchange airstrikes. Australia bans Iranian tourists for 6 months amid rising tensions. UN marks International Day honoring victims of slavery and transatlantic trade. Dubai airports operate amid Middle East tensions. Airlines adjust flights. Oil prices retreat on ceasefire optimism. Antarctica loses ice mass equal to 10 times Los Angeles over 30 years. Study warns rapid future warming in Antarctica. And now the news in details. A drone attack sparked a major fire at Kuwait International Airport, escalating security concerns across the Gulf and amid ongoing Middle East conflicts. According to Kuwait's General Civil Aviation Authority, multiple unmanned aerial vehicles entered Kuwaiti airspace early on Wednesday, targeting critical airport infrastructure. One drone struck a fuel storage facility, causing a powerful explosion and igniting a large blaze. Firefighters and civil defense teams contained the fire after several hours. No fatalities were reported and minor injuries among airport staff were treated on site. Kuwait's Ministry of Defense confirmed that the air defense systems intercepted several drones, though one drone managed to reach its target. While authorities have not officially confirmed the attacker, analysts linked the strike to escalating hostilities involving Iran and regional proxies. Earlier drone-related incidents in March had already raised concerns about civilian aviation security. Normal airport operations resumed shortly after the fire was brought under control, and a comprehensive investigation has been launched to assess the source and flight paths of the drones. Wael Sawan, CEO of Shell plc, warned that Europe could face fuel shortages as early as April 2026 due to Middle East tensions disrupting global energy supply chains. Speaking at the CERAWeek 2026 in Houston, Sawan noted the logistical and transport bottlenecks, combined with insecurity in key shipping corridors like the Strait of Hormuz, threaten the movement of crude oil and refined fuels. He highlighted that jet fuel shortages are already appearing in Europe, with diesel and gasoline likely to follow. Governments are urged to strengthen energy security, build strategic reserves, and implement contingency measures. Rising fuel costs could impact transportation, industrial output, and consumer prices, with potential social consequences if supply disruptions continue. Global financial markets experience heightened volatility as Middle East tensions, rising energy costs, and inflation pressures combined. A 48-hour ultimatum from US President Donald Trump to Iran over the Strait of Hormuz triggered risk aversion among investors, sending Brent crude above $113 per barrel, with WTI past $100. Equity markets in Asia, Europe, and the US saw broad declines while bond yields climbed. Analysts warn that rising fuel costs, potential shortages, and geopolitical instability represent a ticking time bomb for global markets, with safe haven assets such as gold faltering amid investor nervousness. Iran and Israel traded airstrikes after US-led diplomatic efforts failed to halt the widening conflict. Iranian forces, backed by the IRCG, launched missiles towards Israel while Israeli air raids targeted sites near Tehran. Iranian leadership rejected US peace proposals, demanding substantial concessions before engaging in talks. The conflict, ongoing since late February, has impacted regional security and civilian infrastructure across multiple Gulf states. International observers warn of the potential for further escalation and broader regional involvement if diplomatic channels remain stalled. The Australian government announced a 6-month entry ban on Iranian tourists with valid visitor subclass 600 visas. Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke explained the measure aims to manage migration risk amid Middle East instability. Exceptions include immediate family members of Australian citizens and permanent residents. The decision has drawn criticism from advocacy groups and opposition politicians for potentially penalizing innocent travelers. Rising fuel prices, legislation against price gouging, and industrial disputes among national broadcaster staff highlight broader domestic impacts linked to international tensions. The United Nations commemorated the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery and Transatlantic Slave Trade. Secretary General Antonio Guterres emphasized remembering victims, acknowledging the enduring legacies of slavery and promoting education and social justice. UNESCO curated exhibitions highlighting survival stories and resistance movements, while member states and civil society organizations hosted lectures, cultural performances, and awareness campaigns. Officials stressed that remembrance must guide action against modern slavery and systemic inequalities. We will now take a short break and the news will continue when we come back. Please stay with us.
Paglogma 2026. The Papyrus Global launches new series starting Tuesday, 3rd March 2026. The conversation starts now across Africa. Our languages may differ, our borders may separate us, but our struggles bear semblance. Communities seeking opportunities, youth demanding inclusion, citizens calling for transparency. These are realities that unite us. Africa is united by a common challenge and a common responsibility, building resilient, inclusive, and sustainable communities. To set this conversation in motion, the Papyrus Global is launching the pre-conference live series, Governance That Touches Lives. Let's start where it matters the most.
Welcome back, and now the news will continue. Dubai International Airport and Dubai World Central continue operations amid regional security concerns. Airlines including Air India and Indigo adjusted schedules and advised passengers to monitor flight statuses. Some European carriers such as Air France temporarily suspended flights due to safety considerations. Airport authorities emphasized flexible operations and safety protocols while maintaining connectivity for regional and international travelers. Global oil prices eased as optimism over potential ceasefire agreements in the Middle East reduced fears of supply disruptions. Brent crude settled at $99.80 per barrel and WTI at $87. Diplomatic efforts led by U.S. Secretary of State Antonio Blinken and Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud signaled possible temporary halts in hostilities. Market analysts caution that prices remain sensitive to geopolitical events, shipping risk, and OPEC production decisions. Industries and airlines continue monitoring developments closely for operational and cost impacts. A scientific study led by the University of California, Irvine, revealed that Antarctica lost approximately 12,820 square kilometers of grounded ice between 1996 and 2026, an area 10 times the size of Great Los Angeles. The most severe losses occurred in West Antarctica, including Smith, Pine Island, and Thwaites glaciers. The retreat contributes to rising global sea levels, disrupts ocean circulation, and underscores the sensitivity of polar ice to climate change. Researchers stress the importance of accurate climate modeling and mitigation strategies to address ongoing ice loss. A study published in Nature Climate Change indicates that Antarctica may warm 1.4 times faster than the Southern Hemisphere under continued greenhouse gas emissions. Researchers from Columbia University, the British Antarctica Survey, and the University of Washington highlighted amplified warming in West Antarctica and the Antarctic Peninsula, threatening ice sheet stability and accelerating sea level rise. Climate experts emphasize urgent global action to reduce emissions and implement adaptive strategies, noting that Antarctica warming has far-reaching implications for coastal communities worldwide. We have reached the end of international news segment. Here is a recap of the headlines. Drone strike triggers airport fire in Kuwait. Shell chief warns Europe would face fuel shortages next month. Global markets face ticking time bomb amid Middle East tensions. Escalation in Middle East conflict as Israel and Iran exchange strikes. Australia bans Iranian tourists for 6 months amid rising tensions. UN marks International Day honoring victims of slavery and transatlantic trade. Dubai airports operate amid Middle East tensions, airlines adjust flights. Oil prices retreat on ceasefire optimism. Antarctica loses ice mass equal to 10 times Los Angeles over 30 years. Study warns rapid future warming in Antarctica. For continuous coverage, expert analysis and live updates, stay connected with the Papyrus Global Television. Visit papyrusdaily.com for breaking news. I am your host, Christiana Barbayo. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of the entire newsroom and production team, have a safe and informative evening.